Hello, all you coin aficionados out there, and welcome to the DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Today we have two 5 francs coins for you from the country of France. And we can tell it's the country of France because we see their motto here: liberty, equality, and fraternity, freedom, equality, and brotherhood. And when we look at these coins, we see that the only real difference on the back is the date. This is a 1974, this is a 1971. So while we look at them, why don't we just flip this one over, because they both have the same thing on the front. We'll leave one over front and one over back. And they both have the Sower, or the engraving by Louis Oscar Roti from 1900, which has become a national emblem of France and appears on many of their coins, or at least it did until the euro came around. So these coins were I guess you could say, a victim of the euro. These were demonetized on February 17th, 2002, when France adopted the euro. France actually adopted the euro a little bit earlier, but they kept these coins around, and they were allowed to produce these coins, and these were allowed to be used as money until February 17th, 2002. So no cash value anymore if you're trying to use them on the streets or in a shop in France. These particular coins were made from 1970 to 2001. So our 1971 is the second year of production. And they feature the Sower on the front, and you can see if we go in deeply that there's actually a sun here with rays coming up around the sun. She has a handful of grain that she's throwing to seed the fields as she walks, in a sack full of grain here that she's walking with. And so she's essentially a symbol of food, a symbol of rebirth, a symbol of France growing as a nation. She has the gown on. She has a little bit of a helmet here. I don't know how well you can see it with her long hair flowing out the back. And as she walks, she seeds the field. Underneath here, we can see the signature of Louis Oscar Roti, and that was a O and a R-O-T-Y. On the back, we can see that it says, of course, liberty, equality, fraternity, but then it also says 5 francs here, right above a bunch of, this is an olive branch with olives on it. This is wheat here, wheat, ears of wheat they call it. This is an oak tree here, so we just have symbols of the strength for the oak tree, food for the wheat, and peace and food, obviously, for the olive branch. If we look right up here, we can see what looks like a little owl, and that's because it is a little owl. In France, they do not have mint marks per se, or they haven't since the mid-1900s. They have what they call privy marks, and whoever heads the mint gets to choose his or her mark, and this is a little owl, which represents the head of the mint, who was Raymond Joly. Now, they do not have any mint markings to show which mint this was made from. They haven't since the 1950s. So all we can really tell from this one is that it was made in France, and who the essentially the head of the mint was at the time. We might take a look at this one because I think it might have a little bit better owl on it, and I'll show you also what's on the other side. So this, now you can tell a little closer that it is now. And this over here is a cornucopia, which is on all these French coins. Cornucopia on this side, privy mark on this side, 5 in the center, and francs underneath. In 1971, this coin, they made 142.2 million of them. So there's a bunch of them around. Uncirculated, it's worth about $2.27. So it's not a very valuable or rare coin. and that's because it did come out in 1970, but they only made about 58 million. They were doing some production uh, changes and looking through and seeing how it worked and how they could distribute it. So the first year, 1970, they made about 58 million. In the second year, they made 142 million, and that's this year, 1971. So there's a bunch of them out there. By 1974, they'd gone down to 27 million. And so this one uncirculated is worth about $12 US. And in this condition right here is probably worth about $1 US. It is a copper nickel coin, weighs 10 grams, is 21 millimeters in diameter and 2.09 millimeters in thickness. That's all we have today from the DC Coin World International Coin Channel. We'd love to have you subscribe to our channel and leave any comments you have in the comments section. Thank you.